Welcome to another amazing episode of In Conversation with Alethia. I am your host, Alethia O'Hara Stevenson. In this show, I have amazing conversation with amazing and incredible individuals who are doing amazing things in our community. The show will educate, it will empower, and it will inspire you. In this episode, I am honored to have Alex Ihama. Alex Ihama is a global leadership speaker. He's an author, he's a social justice advocate, and the founder and executive director of the Canadian Congress on Inclusive Diversity and Workplace Equity. Oh my gosh, Alex, it is an honor to have you on this episode. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing very well. The honor is mine, Alethia. You're doing fantastic work. So we're here to support the great work you're doing. So thanks for having me.
Amazing. Thank you so much and welcome. I'm going to jump right into the conversation because your bio, your resume is incredible and quite rich. And I want to start with Alex the man. Share a little bit about who you are and what led you to the incredible man that you are today.
Alex the man is soft at heart. Let's just put that out there. Alex the man is soft at heart, very curious, and very hungry. Yes, I'm always hungry physically, but more so even with regards to knowledge. So, I mean, I was one of those in school. The teacher will often say, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. I'm always asking questions and questions. At one point, I thought shut up was my middle name. And that's the truth, right? My parents would tell me, shut up. And the more they told me to shut up, the more I wanted to know. Why are you not telling me, right? So, of course, when I was growing up, there was no internet and all those stuff. So you couldn't really do research. But I used to go to the library. I read dictionary. I read the whole dictionary. I read the Bible, anything big. I don't read small books. So Alex the man, even till now, I spend 4 hours minimum just learning, intentional learning every day.
Wow.
So that's just me. I love to know. I want to question. I want to, just understand, right? Stevie Covey said it best, seek to understand and then be understood. So that categorizes me, right? Is somebody who, just in pursuit of knowledge, passionate about transformation, believe things can be better, right? We can always be more, do more, have more, and give more. So that's really who I am. But that's why I prefixed it by saying I'm very soft at heart still.
Love it. And speaking of soft at heart, you are also a husband and a father, right? So that's also added to your great resume.
Yes. I have 6 children.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
many people don't. But I adopted 3 and 3 are my biological. And then I have many other children, so to speak, that I have helped people to raise. I mentor, and I'm not talking like the general, like very close mentorship, women that I know, maybe family members, even neighbors, single moms here, please help my son. So there are a lot of people I've been involved in their lives who are professional athletes today, professional athletes running their own business, making their own money. But I raise them. But in my own household, 6 of them. I only have 2 left. The other 4, they're grown up.
Nice. And since you touched on, the number of children that you have globally, can you touch on, I know you're working on an amazing initiative right now to empower young people, young minds across the globe. Can you just touch a little bit on that journey and what it's all about?
Yeah, in Africa, there are 700 million youth under 35. And if we even bring it down to 25, you're talking about almost 500 million. That is, 10 times population of Canada. That's the whole of United States and more, the whole of Europe and more. And these people are hungry. They're hungry, they're passionate, right? So, and unfortunately, their government or conditions, systems hinder their progress. But with the advent of Facebook and technology, many of them can reach us. So through our other organization, we run the School of Greatness. We want to raise 1 million leaders online. So we have online programs we're offering them. This is not YouTube video, like they go through a structured program to transform their mind and help them to be equipped with leadership. So, and in the same way, we focus on the Caribbean, 17 nations across the Caribbean. We just signed an agreement with one major organization who are going to support us, enable us to do this. And we are putting $100,000 US worth of programs for the next 10 years. Our vision is in 20 years from now, 2025, the prime ministers, the minister of agriculture, minister of finance in Africa and the Caribbean would have gone through our program. In every parliament, in every country in the island and in most of the countries in Africa, there must be somebody in parliament who've gone through our program. So if he's not the prime minister, then president, then minister of finance. So we are willing to put in the money, cash. We are willing to put in the equity, and we are willing to put in what's required to make that work. We want to transform what people call developing nations.
Right.
Put them at a place of the corridors of power.
So what inspired you? Like, why are you doing this? It's great that you're impacting lives across the globe, really. Why are you doing this? What was your calling?
For me, growing up, I was privileged. My parents were well-to-do, to chauffeur to school, I was privileged. But I was very close to those who weren't. I could always, whenever I'm in the car, in the back of the car, I'm being driven. I'm always looking out like, I wish I could go and join those guys on the street who were playing with cans of Coke, using it for soccer. Right. We had so many soccer balls, right? We had, bicycle, and they will make up, right? So I saw that. I saw that, and whenever I could interact with them, I was excited. I'm still excited when I go to Jamaica, or I go to Trenchtown. I hang out in Trenchtown. I love my Trenchtown. When I go to the Dominican Republic, when I'm leaving the resort, hello, sir, where are you going? I said, don't worry, I'm fine. But I said, no, I'm going to the locals. I remember working with this fine young man in Dominican Republic. I wish I kept in touch with him. And he was telling me, I said, oh, yeah, how's your dad? And he was saying, oh, where am I from? I said, Canada. He says, well, I don't know my dad. I said, really? He said, yeah, my dad is a tourist who came from Canada, slept with my mom, and left her pregnant.
Right.
So that who's going to fend for that young man? Right. So the need is obvious. Even if you were blind, like your eyes are literally closed, and you were deaf, your ears don't work, you can feel the need. It is palpable. My goodness. You should aspire to not leave this planet without raising up at least 1,000 leaders. Mm-hmm. Matt, if you want to live 20, 30, 40 years, divide that by 1,000 and get to work.
But, you're a man of great resources, knowledge, and wealth. You could have easily just continued on your path, right? Living your own life. Why did you stop? Why do you feel the need to stop, pause, and lift someone else up?
Because at a point in my life, I was 27, actually, when I started my journey of personal transformation, which I'm still on. But at a point, I realized, and I'll use the quotation of Martin Luther King. He said it best. He says, until a man can rise above his individualistic concern to the broader concern of humanity, is not fit to live. I've written books on this. The essence of life is to replicate you in other people. My goodness, the fulfillment that comes from giving is immeasurable. So you can look at it in one way that this is even a selfish attempt, right? Fulfillment that comes from giving is immeasurable. It is better to give than to get and to receive. Try it out. I advise anybody listening right now, try it out. Try giving half of your salary to charity 1 month or 1 week, 2 weeks. And, it may be tough for you, but you will always know that you've done good. Try it out. It's good. And the truth of the matter is, we live in a country, we are here in Canada. There are people who are starving here in Canada, by the way. But if you have a job, you get paid, you have... it's our obligation. Why do I feel? It's not just me. It's an obligation to anybody that is alive now. Some may not be mature enough to know that, or may not want to accept that, but that is the truth.
Now, I'm wondering, you talk about all of the great things that you're doing. Did you have that same upbringing where your family was giving, your parents, or is it was just something that you decided to do because you saw the need? Did you have that influence?
It's a great and interesting question, and I'll tell you why. Just yesterday, I was on the call with a friend. My dad is very philanthropic, but I didn't know when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
I only knew when I became an adult. So I'm not doing this because I saw him do it. But even though he was doing it, never really saw it. I was told somebody yesterday, my dad has paid for the wedding of 100 people at least. People who wanted who wanted to get married and didn't have that funding, he sponsored it. There are people who fish me out on Facebook and say, "Oh, I see your last name. Are you related to this person?" I say, my goodness, that man paid my brother's school fees or my
incredible.
Yes. Some will say when their mother died or their father died, he paid for the funeral. He doesn't say this. In fact, me and him have never even discussed this. People tell me once in a while, like, "Daddy, do you know this person?" You're like, I don't think I do.
Wow, that's powerful to be able to impact someone's life without expecting anything in return.
Yes, so I can say maybe I got it. No, maybe there's no maybe. I got it from your DNA. Yes, it's from the DNA. You are correct. Yes. Yeah, because In fact, my mom will often say, I will come from school and my pants are falling down. He's like, "My son, what happened to the belt?" My mom will say, "Mommy, I found somebody with no belt in school. The person was rolling their pants, so I gave them my belt." Then my mom said, "But look at your own pants is falling down."
Wow.
And I don't remember this, but my mom told me that. Like, I'm always intrigued when I see people with no shoes. I want to give them mine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to give them mine. I'm like, I admire people with no shoes. I want to give them mine, so they wear mine. I used to do that as a kid, my mom said.
I love it. I'm curious. I'm curious though. Were you always this, this perfect image of Alex?
Not even close to being perfect. Believe me, maybe you should call my wife. Maybe you should be asking her that question.
I need to have a conversation with her, but I'm sure there's a bit of trouble.
Not even close. I was a tyrant growing up. Tyrant.
Knew it.
My goodness. There was no name on the planet they didn't call me. Nikompu, non-entity, nuisance. I only checked what those mean. Only recently I went to Google to find out what it means. Didn't even know what it means. Most of the name they tagged me as, I didn't even know what it means. You're a vagabond. Vagabond. If I have not even Googled vagabond, so I can't. This conversation I've not had this conversation. I don't think I've ever even had this kind of conversation to take me back to one thing I do know is teachers, parents, people with influence over me, so to speak, never thought I was going to turn out good.
You know what, Alex? We're going to pause on that note because I'm going to pick up on you being a vagabond and you being told to shut up, right? Because I think that it's powerful to be, talk about the man that you are today and your global speaking engagements. Welcome back to In Conversation with Alethia. Again, I am sitting with the incredible Alex Ihama. Alex, welcome back.
Hi, thank you so much, my friend.
So we left off the conversation and we were talking about, Alex the tyrant, the troublemaker, the vagabond in his younger days. And I wanted to pick up on that conversation a little bit and tell us a little bit about that, Alex.
Yes, I think if you allow me, I'll take even just a few seconds behind. Alex, my belief about perfect. There's nobody that is perfect. Let's just put that out there. Nobody, but I strive for perfection. I am. If there's anything called a perfectionist, that's me, right? So when I decided to start my own personal transformation journey, I made 10 promises to myself. 1, I will never complain, even when the complaint is obvious. Number 2, I will blame no one, even when they are guilty as charged. Number 3, I will never make excuses, even when it's valid. Number four, I will protect the dignity of everyone, even when they don't care about their own dignity. Number five, I will uphold integrity, even if it's going to cost me my reputation. Number six, I will love everyone, even those that hate me. Like, I made all this. And so I'm saying all this to say, I hold myself accountable to that. I don't expect you to not complain. If you want to complain, go ahead. But these are very strict principles that enables me to grow every day. And like, I grow at the rate, literally at the speed of light every day. I don't go to bed until I can identify 21 things I have learned. 21.
Wow.
We have 24 hours in a day. I learn 21 things every day. I can tell you 21 things I learned yesterday. I can tell you 10 I've already learned today, 15 I've learned today. So why am I saying this? This is what's required for continuous transformation. This is like, some people go to the gym, right? They pump the iron, and they'll tell you, I cannot go to bed until I spend 10 hours in the gym. That's you, and it's great. Alex, I don't like the gym. I like to read. I like to learn. I like to write. I like to speak. So we all have our giftings. So when you meet somebody who does that, who builds up, you see it on their body. So when you also meet somebody who's always reading and learning, you see it in their mind. Yes, what it is, right? So I wanted to put that out there. Some people, I would love to be like you. No, you don't want to be like me. You want to be like you. You want to reveal the true you. You want to get in touch with the greatness in you. You want to discover your purpose. When you discover your purpose in life, and you yourself, you set some principles. You must have them. If you don't have them, you are naked completely. Being naked is not with clothes. You are completely exposed to the pollution of the world, right? So yeah. So this is what I do to be who I am. So now, growing up, people thought I was a nuisance because I was asking questions, because I was talking. Right. The other time when Facebook came around, you start seeing your old friends and Facebook connect you. One of them is like, I remember you. You used to make noise in class. He said, do you still make noise? I say, if I tell you how much they pay me to make noise now, you will not believe it. They fly me around the world, buy me business class ticket, pay me in a 5-star hotel to come and make the noise that the teachers will never let me make in class. So, yeah. So if you want to talk of a testimony, you are looking at somebody who, by the grace of God, was able to transform his life and now is committed 100%. I don't have 99% in my dictionary. If I say I'm doing something, I do it. If I know I'm not going to finish it, I don't start it. You see, these are principles you find in so many books. I have combined them. I have over 100 principles that guide my life. 100.
I love that. I love that. You know, I love the fact that you're able to touch on the fact that, you know, in your younger days, your teachers used to call you, say, shut up, right? You were known as the guy to shut up. But here you are now. People are paying you to speak. People are paying you to do the opposite. That's incredible, right? And it also speaks to, your sense of character and, the growth, the personal growth that you've been on and you continue to be on to, to transform lives and your own personal life. And speaking of transformation, I want to lead us into the conversation around the Canadian Congress. That's an incredible organization that you established and you're the executive director of. I want you to take us back to, the beginning, why you felt it necessary to establish this organization and when did you establish this organization?
So, diversity work is what I've been, part of what I've been doing since 1999. So, you talked about it and stuff. I believe diversity work is kindness work. All you are basically saying is be kind, irrespective of where people come from, irrespective of what they look like, irrespective of their gender, irrespective of even who they love and who they worship. Be kind, right? So it's what we've been doing, talking about inspirational leadership. But if there's anybody who saw the 8-minute clip of when George Floyd was murdered and something did change in your mind, then please watch it again and again and again until something clicks in your mind. Right. So when I've watched it 50 times. 50 times. Like, you can't watch that, 50 times and And it's like, mother, like, hello, right? And I came to very harsh conclusion that it is time that everybody on this planet understand the concept of social justice. So we decided to create the Canadian Congress on Inclusive Diversity and Workplace Equity. The objective is simple: massive education for all. We are building right now what we call the largest diversity university on the planet, where you can take free courses to learn unconscious bias, conscious bias, and from non-racist to anti-racist, from, like, you name the course you want to learn.
Right.
And we want to certify this year, 2020, we want to certify 1,000 social justice advocates, not the ones that come to events and go. No, we want to put them through a 3-month program, intensive program, and ignite in them a passion that can never be extinguished.
Wow, that's powerful, Alex. And you know what? I'm going to touch on, you talked about George Floyd and those 8 minutes. And as a man, as a Black man, as a father, can you walk us through that moment, you know, what it felt like for you? Because I know I personally watched the video and I struggled, and I still struggle when I reflect back on those 8 minutes. What was that experience like for you?
Shattered my heart.
Oh,
completely. I believe that it's an indictment to humanity. My goodness. I'm guilty as charged. Up to you if you want to consider that. For me, I'm guilty as charged. That in my own generation, things like this still happen. Then what am I doing with my gift? Getting paid? That's what I'm doing with my gift? No. So that, for me, watching that is an indictment to humanity. I feel responsible. And for any other person that have any space in their heart to, we should all feel responsible. In fact, my take is those who even stayed recording it, they're as guilty as the policeman whose knee was on the neck. People were like, what? And I asked them, I said, if that was your son, if that was your brother, would you keep recording it, or you would throw the phone away and run towards the police officer? Hello? Right. The answer is obvious. So when we sit down and do nothing, or want to be, to post on social media and get more likes, we need to reexamine the way we think, the way we talk, the way we act. Everything needs to be scrutinized. I will, if I see that, I will park my vehicle and I will cross the street and say, police officer, this is wrong. If he brings his gun, the more I'm saying this is wrong, people will begin to join. I will take the leadership. You want to? Yes. How many bullets in that gun? 7 people, 8 people shoot us, but we were going to save 1 person. We have to be able to rise up and speak up for the underprivileged, the underrepresented, the depressed, the discouraged, the dejected. There are people around us who need every form of help. Yesterday, one woman said something. He said, Alex, I appreciate the work you're doing and all this. He said, it's really great. He said, for me, this is the woman speaking now, for her, I have a dream that one day there will be no children in no foster home. My goodness. That's powerful. You see, almost bringing tears to my eyes. I'm like, wow, that's another area that nobody's even talking about. Right? That's another area nobody's talking about. I was speaking to another fine lady the other day, Nekima, one of the social justice advocates in the US, and she said, Alex, you're talking George Floyd. People are talking about what they see. He said, do you know how many Black men they kill in the prison system?
Wow.
Did you ever think of that, Alethia?
Yeah, that's another conversation, Alex.
That's another conversation. Yeah. He said they will take the Black man, put him in jail. In few weeks and few months, they will call the mother, come and pick up the body.
Wow.
No investigation.
Wow.
So you see that
there's work to be done.
There's work to be done. So what was your question again? Why did I start the Congress?
Why did you
start to be done?
Yes.
There is work to be done.
Exactly.
So we know we can't do it alone. So we created a platform and bring social justice advocates together, network together, encourage each other together, rub minds together, and then we now created an end-to-end strategic framework using my ability for strategy on how organizations that truly want to make a change can make a change.
That's...
Having somebody come and speak in your organization is only 5 to 10% of the equation, because that person is speaking, 80%, 90% of the people are not responding.
Right.
They are listening. So there needs to be coaching. There needs to be policy review, strategy, audits, dashboarding. So we created the same way. Like, I have another organization called Strategy Management Office. We have worked on over $1 billion worth of strategy in 23 years. 1 billion.
Wow.
So we work on massive strategy in this organization. So the same framework that we use to work on massive strategy, we now take the same framework and put it on diversity. So we are not just speakers or consultants.
I love that. You know what? That's incredible. And one of the things that I love about the Congress too, and the work that you're doing and the team's doing, is the fact that you've brought together individuals from diverse communities, whether it's our Indigenous brothers and sisters, our South Asian community, if you're, regardless of how you identify from a gender perspective, right? Everybody has a seat at the table to be able to move forward and transform lives. That's quite incredible. So we're coming towards the end of the show, Alex, and in 30 seconds or less, can you just wrap up, what the Congress is all about and where do you want to go from here? 30 seconds.
30 seconds. My 30 seconds I use that as a call out. So anybody listening to this right now, go to Canadian Congress on diversity.ca and ask to join the movement, right? You can join the movement as an ambassador. You can join the movement as a facilitator, as a consultant. You can join the movement as a client, as a student. You can join it anyway. Yes, you can join anyway. And I'll leave you with this quote. Martin Luther King said, "If you can't fly, my friend, run. If you can't run, my friend, walk. If you can't walk, my friend, crawl." He says, "But to God, keep moving." That's all I can tell you. Keep moving.
Love it. We're going to end on that note, Alex. If you can't run, crawl. So let's keep moving, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for another amazing episode of In Conversation with Alethia. Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us, and see you next time.
God bless you all.